month to that gym. We all have those bills that come out of our account, right? Those wipeout bills, the bills that wipe you out every single month. Who's got a wipeout bill? Let's be honest. Who's got a bill every month that wipes you out? You're like, damn, it's the 15th. It's going to wipe me out. Here we go. And you dread it, right? Mine was the first day of the month. So as soon as I paid my rent, which was 500 quid, I was like happy. I was singing. It was amazing. The second was great. The third was great. The fourth was great. The 10th was great. The 12th was great. The 15th was still all right. And then as I got to the 20th, I'm like, oh shit, here it comes again. The wipeout bill is on its way. So I would love to know in your chat, what is the wipeout bill for you? What is the bill that you would love to eliminate if you could? Rent, car insurance, phone bill, rent. Let's see a few more. Mortgage, a house, rent, electricity, loan. I mean, people's electricity bills are going to go through the roof during this lockdown period, right? So here's the point I'm trying to get at. We all have residual bills that come out of our bank account every single month. Yeah, you'd agree to that. We all have residual bills. Whether we like it or not, that money comes out of our account. So I read this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I thought, why don't I find a way of building a residual income stream? So I thought I owned my own business because I was self-employed, but I didn't. I just owned a job, which meant I turned up and I got paid. If I went on holiday, I earned zilch. If my clients went on holiday, I didn't earn anything. So the easiest way I can explain residual income is this. Residual income is like having a pipeline from a water well directly to your village. So imagine the village that you live in now doesn't have running water, and every day you have to walk to the well, fill up a bucket, bring it back to the village. Walk to the well, fill up a bucket, bring it back to the village. That is what we call linear water or linear income. You're trading time for water, like you do in a job, yeah? You're trading time for money. Robert Kiyosaki calls it in the book the 40-40 law, which is work for 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life and then retire on 40% of the income that you were earning, which is quite an interesting concept. And that isn't really happening right now because people are losing their pensions because of this stuff that's going on. So residual income is going, you know what? Someone says one day, I'm sick of walking to that well every single day to get water for this village. Why don't me and you start a pipeline? Why don't we just build something underground from the well that takes the water to the village? And your friend goes, yeah, it's a great idea. And then all the, what I call the mood hoovers, the energy vampires, they're going, no, you'll never be able to do it. A pipeline, it's a scam, it'll never work. Nobody ever makes money from these things. Nobody ever gets fresh water from these things. So you're going to get the naysayers, what I call the dark cloud thinkers, and you're going to get the blue sky thinkers that are like, you know what, it seems like a great idea. Let's give it a go. We know it won't happen overnight, but let's put some time and energy into it. And over time, we will build something that will create a residual water flow into the village. And guess what happened? They started to build it, and 3 years later, 2 years later, they've got this residual flow of water. That's the exact same thing with this business. The only difference is you start getting paid as soon as you sign up. You earn while you learn. You're building a business and you're earning income at the same time. So there's 4 key elements to our business, as I said. It's risk-free, okay? So there is no big investment to join. It's a £50 sign-up fee. For that £50, you get your own website and you get a virtual office so you can operate it anywhere in the world. 50 quid is not a lot of money. People are spending more on toilet roll at the minute and hand sanitizer. So £50 is not a lot of income. £50 is what you would spend on a round of drinks on a night out, all right? Or it's what you'd spend on a new pair of shoes, or what you'd spend on a a day at the cinema with your kids, or it's what you spend watching your local football team, all of which you cannot do now anyway because everything is closed. So everybody's got a spare 50 quid, and if you've not, save up £12.50 a week for 4 weeks and you find yourself £50. So that's the investment. Then we also have the other cool elements of the business. You have a blueprint, you have a proven system that we can teach you. We have these calls every single night of the week that you can plug people into. We have a proven automated business model where we are partnered with DHL. They deliver the products directly to your customer's door, and you get paid on the 10th of the month into your bank account. Super simple. All right, the 4-step process is this. We make our money 4 ways. So the first way we make our money is retail commission. So somebody orders the product from you, they order from your website link, the product gets delivered to their door. Depending on where you are in the marketing plan, you will either earn 10 or 20% retail commission. So that's the first income stream that you can earn. The second income stream that you can earn is repeat retail commission. So the easiest way I can explain this is, again, it's residual income. It's doing something once and getting paid over and over and over and over again for it. Beyonce wrote an album in 2003. She's still making money now from that album. I signed up a customer for this product in 2009. I'm still getting paid every single month after month after month after month after month. I heard a great phrase by one of my mentors, Jim Rohn, and he said, profits are better than wages. Profits are better than wages. A wage will make you a living, but a profit can make you a fortune. It's so simple, guys. So that's the second way we make our income. The third way we make our income is by growing an organization. Starbucks started with 1 coffee shop in Seattle. Now there are 10,000 Starbucks all over the world. 10,000 Starbucks all over the world. They all look the same. They all smell the same. They all taste the same. They all wear the same uniforms. It's the exact same thing with this. Who's got a Netflix account? Show of hands. Show of hands. Who's caning it right now, by the way? Keep your hands up, yeah? So we've all got a Netflix account. This is the same concept, but it's the Netflix of nutrition. It's an online business model built up in the cloud, no stock, no delivery, subscription business model, and all you need to build your business is your smartphone. That is it. Smartphone, 4G, Wi-Fi, and you're set. That is it. So you take the product and you start your own health journey, and you start to share that health journey with other people, and other people start to ask what you're doing, so you get customers that way. Other people see what you're posting about on social media, you're sharing your health journey, so you get people asking, can I do it with you? You invite other people to do it with you as well. Who'd like to get a little bit healthier right now? Show of hands. Who thinks it's a good idea in this current situation to get a little bit healthier? Everybody. It's not a stupid idea. Most of the people that are dying from this thing are the people that have neglected their health for years and years and years. It catches up with you eventually. You don't feel a heart attack starting 20 years before it hits you. You've no idea. You cannot see what's going on internally in your body. You don't know whether your immune system's strong or not. So, of course, getting healthier is a good idea. No one's saying that you need to be a fitness model or an athlete to work with us. But what you do need to do is start a health journey. Say, you know what, I'm at this place right now. I remember, who remembers, by the way, when you were your fittest? What was life like for you? When you were your fittest, when you were at your strongest, when you were putting on your guys, you were putting on your t-shirt and it fit perfectly. Girls, your skinny jeans were on point, like you felt confident, you felt good, you felt super healthy. Like, just, it doesn't matter where you are right now, you can get back there. I started my Get Your Body Back challenge, and in 12 weeks, I've got my body back to where I was in 2012. It's doable. Body fat is only stored energy. All you got to do is burn it off. and you'll get back to where you want to be. So the third way we make our money, guys, is you bring people on the health journey with you, and they will come to you and say, hey, John, I've got 5 girls that want to do this as well. So I go, okay, no worries, Mary. Do you want to sign the girls up yourself and you can make some commission, or do you want to give the commission to me? Well, I might as well earn the commission. It'll pay for my products, and if I get a few more orders, then you know what? It might pay my phone bill. It might take the pressure off my rent. It might pay the shopping bill. Whatever, we might be able to go and buy some more toilet rolls. I don't know, but you can spend that money on whatever you want. An extra £100 a month is an extra £1,000 a year. If I said tonight I'm going to give away a flight to New York for free, who would be up for winning it? Who would be excited? Everybody, right? I'm not going to, by the way, so don't get too excited. A flight to New York is £1,000. You can go on holiday to New York for £1,000. So don't scoff at £100 a month. It's a lot of money. When you get to 100, you go, you know what? I bet I can double it. When I get to 200, I bet I can triple it. And that's all that happened to me. So what we do, guys, is we build other networks. So you can bring in 10 people that want to do this business with you. And if they place 10 orders each, that means there's 100 orders within your network, and the company pays you an overriding commission on the volume that your network builds. The fourth way we make our money is by bonuses. There is a bonus plan that pays out 150,000 euros in bonuses. The bonus that I've just qualified for is 40,000 euros. I will get that in 1 month. Now that's pie in the sky money, right? I much prefer talking about the lower end money. But I've hit every single position on this marketing plan. I've earned every single bonus from IMD, EMD, PMD, and now PMD Plus. I got to a point, just to wrap up my story before I bring on Emma, I got to a point where I was earning 500 a month from this business, just from helping people get healthier. I was a personal trainer. My job was to help people get healthier. Now I can help more people get healthier. Makes sense, right? It's total sense. So I got to 500 a month and I thought, okay, cool. Maybe I can get to 1,000 a month. So I got to 1,000 a month. Like I said, I was earning 2K a month as a personal trainer. My income as a PT was never going to go any higher. I couldn't work any more hours. But this was uncapped. We're in 30 different countries, and all you do is you do more of what you were already doing to get more of what you already want, right? Do more of what you're already doing to get more of what you want. And it just grows and grows and grows. And I got to the point where I've matched my income. So I was earning 2K a month as a PT, 2K a month doing this. I put more time and energy into this because it was the thing that I could grow. I doubled it. And then I got to a point where I was like, wow, this is unbelievable what is going on. And I started to work harder on my Juice Plus business than I did on my personal training business. And in July 2014, I was making more money in a month doing this than I made in a whole year as a personal trainer. I don't know what you guys all do, but imagine getting a full year's salary every single month. It is insane. I can't even spend it. I'm not a fancy guy at all. I had a really nice Range Rover, but I don't have a car anymore. I don't need one. It's crazy. I bought holiday homes. I have a place in Thailand and I have a place just outside Dubai. So that's why I got started. Travel's my thing. I just wanted to buy holiday homes and do cool stuff. I'm in the Canary Islands at the minute, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, building my business from my kitchen. Like, this is my office. There's my flip chart. There's my fridge. That's how simple it is. We live in a global village. There are 208 people on this call tonight, all from around the world. So this system that we teach, it works in Finland. We've built business there. It works in Denmark. We've built business there. It's working in Romania. We're building business there. It's working in America. We're building business there. I did a call this morning for Australia at 10 a.m. We're building business there. If you've got team in Australia, we're flying over there. Poland, I just signed up a new girl from Poland yesterday. It is incredible, guys. At the touch of your button on your phone, you can build a business. So that is it from me. I'm going to hand over to an amazing woman who I got the pleasure of meeting 9 years ago, I think it was, or 8 years ago, when she was training at my boot camp, and we became really good friends. She started on the product, she joined the business, and she broke a lot of records in this business. I'm not going to steal the thunder, so I'm going to hand over to the amazing Emma Snedden.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
Yes, really good, really good. Excited, as always.
Always. Thank you for that introduction. But it's always funny when people introduce you as anything, because you kind of feel like you've got to live up to that. And we are just totally normal. I saw someone in the chat there when you were showing your kitchen, just sort of saying, oh, you know, like really inspiring or whatever. But honestly, guys, anybody can do what we do. Absolutely anybody can do what we do. I was exactly that person that John talked about who went to him. We met when he was a personal trainer, and he wasn't a cheap personal trainer either, by the way. So when he says he matched his income, he wasn't one of these £10 an hour personal trainers. He was an expensive one. But he was good at that too. And because he was good at it because he cares about people. But he introduced me to the product first, and I'll share my story in a minute. And I fell in love with the product, and I was the person who went to him and said, I've got these 5 girls who want to buy, it was the shakes that I was taking at the time. I said, I've got these 5 girls that want to buy them. And he said, well, it's up to you. You can either give me the orders, or you can sign up for 50 quid and put the orders through yourself, and you'll make that money back straight away. So it just made total sense to me. I don't think it's a complicated business to get your head around at all. I'm a very simple girl. I like simple things in life. And when I came across this back in 2012, I didn't join straight away. I wanted to sort of take the product for a little bit first. And the reason I didn't join straight away was because I didn't think I had time, right? And I was a busy working mum. I was 36 years old. I've got 3 children. So I was firmly in the, I don't have time for this camp, right? About anything and everything. I didn't even know what it was. And I decided I didn't have any time for it. I didn't ask any questions. I didn't find out any information. I just decided straight away, in my head, owning your own business meant time consuming, stock, deliveries, staff, overheads, all of this. So I had so many incorrect preconceived ideas about what this was that I just said no. So when I started to take the product and fell in love with it, I was still working 100 hours a week at that point, but I started to take the shakes for breakfast, just once a day. Felt great. Lost a little bit of Christmas weight. So for me, I was naturally recommending the product anyway. And essentially, guys, if I said nothing else to you, that's what this business is. Really is just recommending stuff like you recommend stuff anyway. I guarantee at the minute you'll be recommending films that you're watching, books that you're reading, stuff you're doing with the kids. My newsfeed is absolutely rammed full of, here's what you can do with the kids in the holidays, here's what you can do, here's a place you can go, here's a website you can visit, here's a film you can see. They're all recommendations that we're all doing for free to help people out. That's what our business is, right? Recommending stuff to help people out, but we get paid for it. So it ticks all the boxes for me. So when John said you can earn some money from this, I was like, oh, I'm so busy. I'm working really long hours. I was really, honestly, guys, I was juggling life. I was stressed out of my brains, working 100 hours a week, up to my eyeballs in kids and home and job and everything that everyone's got going on, right? Absolutely, but incredibly ambitious as well. I've always wanted to be independent financially. I always wanted to have my own money. Always wanted to sort of be more in control of my own life. And I think if you're at that point now, and more so than ever, I just said this on a call earlier on, more so than ever, I think people are at that point in their life. Even if you weren't there a few weeks ago, you might start to be there a little bit now, because lots of professions and lots of jobs that we kind of considered to be, there's always going to be hairdressers and there's always going to be nail technicians, and my job's safe. People say that to me all the time. Oh, my job's really secure. Well, all of a sudden here we are in this new world where we're realising everything isn't secure anymore. I thought my job was really, really secure. And the day that I handed my notice in, because I wanted to do this full time, 2 days later, they asked for voluntary redundancy. So I probably would have been made redundant anyway from my very, very secure job that I had at the time. So all of a sudden, this world that we live in isn't quite as secure as we maybe thought it was. And that can be quite scary, or it can be a massive opportunity for you to do something new, to try something out without taking any risks. And for me, that's the biggest thing about this, right? For those of you who are working or have got family or whatever, you might want to do something new. You might be like sort of a little bit dissatisfied with your life like I was. I was working long hours and missing my kids, and I thought, is this it? Like, is this what life is? I'm 36 years old. I don't see my children really very much because they're at nursery from 7 till 7. I'm always at work. My husband's always at work, squashing our whole lives into the weekend. But I also was not in a position to be able to risk that to try something new. I couldn't afford to take a drop in income. I couldn't afford to give up my job. I loved my job. I loved earning money and I loved being successful. So I was like really in this place where, and I know that lots and lots of other people are, where it's like, I want more, but I haven't got any more to give. Something's got to give somewhere. So when this dropped into my lap, which it did, and it's now dropping into your lap as we speak to you, that's what I was like, okay, so I can do this. There's no risk. No risk whatsoever. It's £50 to join. The cost of a night out, John's already covered that. So that was a tick in the box. I was like, okay, I can do that. No deliveries to make. So if you are time poor, the last thing you want to be doing, guys, is driving around, dropping off stock at people's houses, going to the post office. None of that, right? You don't have to do any of that. If you had to do any of that, I would never have got involved in the first place because that is not my bag. You don't have to order product and sell it on. You literally, from your mobile phone, you literally it takes 2 seconds to place an order. And these days, it's even easier than it even was when we started 6 or 7 years ago. I can just send you a link and you can order it yourself and it comes to your door. And the company pays me for that conversation or pays you for that conversation. So it's incredibly simple, incredibly, doesn't take up any time. I speak to the people that want to join the business with me and I'm like, an hour a day, you can create a second income stream. An hour a day, you can create another level of income that you can rely on. An hour or 2 hours. Imagine if you can do an hour a day, what can you do in 2 hours a day? You can create a whole business for yourself if you want to. And it depends what level you want to do it at. But for a busy person, it's literally a no-brainer. There's no reason to not do this because you think that you're too busy. I've yet to find anybody really that was any more busy than I was. We always think we're busy, but we can squash things in if it's important enough. So no money handling, no deliveries, no risk. And I literally, a little bit like John was talking about before, I had this career job that I loved, but was starting to get a little bit taking me away from my family, and my priorities were different. They are, right? When you're in your 20s, you're like, right, I want to climb the corporate ladder. I want to be successful, whatever industry you're in, or maybe, what you want in your 20s, you think you've got it, and then maybe your life changes. I got married and I had a family, and suddenly this big corporate job that I have wasn't necessarily exactly the way that I wanted to live my life anymore. But I had bills I couldn't, John talked about residual bills. I had bills that I had to pay. So I managed to basically start to build this alongside my full-time income. So there was no risk to that. I wasn't risking anything around my family or my commitments or the things that I was, committed to doing and paying for. But I could build this in the nooks and crannies of the day. I call it a go about your business. As you're going about your business, whatever you're doing, this just literally slots in like that. You don't have to give anything up. You don't have to learn anything new, really. I was on social media anyway. You can use Zoom now anyway because you're on this call. So everything you need to do, you already know. So you can just literally start building it like I did. This was my monthly income, picking a normal job. Don't drop the ball in your normal job if you still got it, right? But building this up and build until I got to exactly where John was, which I was earning the same in an hour a day doing this as I was in 100 hours a week doing that. So I was like, okay, cool. Keep going. Got a few bonuses along the way. And within 10 months, I was earning twice as much in an hour or two a day doing this as I was in my full-time job, which I still hadn't dropped the ball in. So by the end of 2013, I was like, well, that can go because I don't need it anymore. I can just do this. And I only started to earn £200 a month. I only started as a bit of a hobby. I only started to earn some money for Christmas. So wherever you're at, and every person on the call will be somewhere different now, wherever you're at in the moment in your life, you can slot this into it, probably more so than ever. And I honestly, fundamentally believe there has never been a better time than right now to build this business. Everybody's looking to get healthy. People are really starting to be concerned about their income and where the next paycheck is coming from. I don't know if you've ever heard that kind of saying where you're only ever two failed paychecks away from total financial ruin, right? And people are like, oh my God, really starting to feel that now. And that's not to take advantage of that. It's to say, guys, you don't create a second income stream and maybe you won't have to worry about that quite so much. So I'm so excited to share this with anybody and everybody that I can, more so than probably I've ever been. And those of you who know me know I'm always excited to share it, but it's just such a fantastic opportunity to help people to get healthy, help people to get a second income. And the other thing, which I think right now more than ever is really important, is the community that we're part of. So this is It's not just you sat at home on your own. And I see so much of it on my social media at the minute. I'm lonely, I'm bored, I'm in the house by myself. We're all sort of all over the world, globally. Everybody's in one way or another experiencing what we're all going through. You can create community. I'm on Zoom calls on and off all day. My WhatsApp is going crazy. I'm always chatting to people. I feel really part of a big community of people all over the world. We've just come off a call with the global CEO and the European CEO. You feel part of something. And what they shared on that call was the targets for the company. We're a 50-year-old company, and their targets for the company, their vision is that we will at least double within the next 5 years. And I think it'll probably be 3. We'll double in size in the next 3 to 5 years. Guys, there's never been a better time to get involved. This business changed my whole life. I literally jumped in with both feet, did everything John told me to do, walked away from my full-time job at the end of 2013, retired my husband from his full-time job at the end of 2013 as well. For the last 6 years, we've been what I call work-at-home parents, right? So we are here for the kids in the morning, we're here for the kids at night. We've just relocated our entire family to Ireland at the drop of a hat like that. Didn't have to ask anybody, didn't have to look for a new job. This will give you choices. Whatever you do with it, no pressure, no boss, no set hours, no big targets. You decide what you want to do, and we will meet you where you're at. What you want to achieve, we'll help you achieve it. If you want to achieve a little bit, we'll help you do that. If you want to achieve a lot, we'll help you do that. You decide what you want. There's no pressure. It's tons of fun. And honestly, just go back to the person who invited you on the call and go, I'm in. What do I have to do and where do I sign? And I promise you, we'll be here every night of the week pretty much to help you to get started and to build whatever level of business that you choose.
Amazing, Emma. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Welcome.
Incredible. We are on time for once,
whoop, whoop.
which is unbelievable. We get that excited, sometimes we overrun. So I just want to close this meeting off, guys, by telling you a story about today. I had a call with a girl in Malaysia last week who was interested in getting started with us, a trainee chef, and she's a student. And I chatted to her after I showed her the information, and she was excited. And then, sometimes we get in our own heads. And I messaged her and I said, right, are we getting started with this? And she said, no, I'm not sure. And I said, what are you not sure about? And she said, I don't really know. I'm just not sure. So I said, okay, let's get on a call and let's have an honest conversation. So we had an honest conversation today. And I said, what are you scared of? And she said, well, I'm scared that if I start, I won't be successful. And I said, well, the chances are that you will be successful because we have a system, we have calls, we have everything that you need. If you just do the step by step, if you just commit for 90 days, I promise you, you will be whatever successful is in your mind, you will be successful. You will bring in some customers, you will bring in some team members. And she said, yeah, it makes sense now you're saying it like that. The second thing is I said, what else could go wrong? What's the worst that could happen? What is the worst that can happen if you join our business and you take our products? And she said, well, the worst that can happen is I'll just get healthier. And I was like, exactly. The worst that will happen is you join the business, you take the products, you don't decide to build the business, but you just get healthier. And she said, I'll get my body back to where I want to be and I'll lose a little bit of weight. And yeah, I get it. And I just said one more thing. I said, and she'd moved, believe it or not, she'd moved from the Maldives to Malaysia. And I said, when you moved from the Maldives to Malaysia, did people say it was a bad idea? What are you doing that for? Don't do it, right? We all know naysayers and negative people that try and talk you out of doing stuff. So my advice in closing is this. Don't let anybody cheat you out of your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't do it. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Even yourself, the little negative man or woman that lives inside your head, don't even let yourself tell you that you can't do it and you shouldn't do it. And here's a quote that I read to her today, and I haven't used this quote in a long time, but we used to use it back in the day, and it makes so much sense. Doubt and fear kills more dreams than failure ever will. So doubt and fear kills more dreams than failure ever will. And what that means is doubt and fear kills more dreams than giving it a go ever will. Just give it a go. It's £50 to join. what have you got to lose and what else have you got to do? I mean, if you're bored of playing computer games, play a real life game that's fun and the money is real. And when this lockdown is over, you can do something incredible with it. So thank you so much for jumping on. We're going to move on to a training now, very, very quick training. It'll be about 15 minutes to 20 minutes long. So